by the time you get to that third one, like your ego's got no gas left, right? And that's when some of the most powerful work happens.
It makes so much sense. I mean, just from my yogic experience and what I know about the ego, and what we say is, trying to release, and the ego is our mind telling us about the experience, taking us away from the experience. But we don't know how to, as a people, detach from the thoughts, because we believe that we are them, right? That is us. It's just, yeah. So hungry, tired, uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. We don't like to be uncomfortable, right? Mind doesn't like to be. We spend our entire life chasing pleasure and avoiding pain.
Yep. Right.
So
I think
go ahead.
Your lizard brain just, will always to get through the world we live in. Like the lizard brain leads, right? Like we just have to accept that. And when we take the steps necessary to not let like the higher self lead, right? That's what's important. But yes, I drew this parallel to somebody once. When you get done with an ayahuasca retreat, there is the same feeling of connection and closeness as there is when you kind of suffered through with other folks. Like when I graduated boot camp or you survived a deployment, right? That closeness that you get happens in discomfort, and you're there doing it together. And some of my closest best friends in this world I've met doing, through ayahuasca, and I'm very grateful for that.
And you've kept coming back to more. So you said you've done over 20 ceremonies.
That's correct. Yeah.
And what keeps coming you back? Is there a point to ever be like, I've made it, I'm evolved, I'm connected?
So very early on, I made a deal, I guess, with Mother Ayahuasca. And I said, I'll stop coming when you tell me I'm done. Now, that hasn't happened yet, so it's still part of my practice. I try to go once quarterly. I know some people either go like once a year. There's some people who go, depends on the person. But I think what's happened is it's an evolution. I had to start off like, hey, let's get rid of your trauma, right? So let's file that away. Then, hey, let's reconcile all your bullshit with your parents. Okay, that's a way. Hey, how about like relationships and like, relationships with partners or things like that? Like, you start to, I hadn't worked on that, right? Like maybe I could be a better husband or a boyfriend or whatever it is, right? Like, let's put that away. And, recently it's been about strengthening my relationship with Maker, with my God. Like, okay, you're real, but so what? Like, what does that mean, right? So I've tried to do work with like trying to understand my life's purpose, trying to understand how I really feel, like what does God mean to me, and what is the expanse of that relationship, and it just keeps evolving. And in the same way that you go to therapy and you're like, you peel back the next layer of the onion, right? The same thing happens there. I go and I'm like, damn, dude, I didn't even realize I was being an asshole. And you're like, and so again, it kind of unveils things to you as you need it. And that's important. So that's why I keep going back, right? The other thing that I want to do, and it's the same reason that I agreed to talk to you, is I want to be a resource for people, specifically veterans, because I know that there's a lot of stigmas around mental health and veterans, and there's a lot of ego that lives there. And I want to try to be and live as an example for them. But beyond just veterans, I want to keep going back, right? I'll refer people, I'll take a friend. And I trust me, I don't make the offer to just anybody that'll go, but the people that have opened up to me and really have shown me that there's some things that they're ready to work on, I'm so happy to be the usher to them, and we'll go through that experience together. And so that's why I keep going back, because what I've realized through this is that all this work that I've done in ayahuasca, to me, the word that I use is magic. Like I have no other word, right? It's this unhumanly thing that happens with little to no explanation, right? I cherish that. And I want to share that with the people that are important to me. But I can't do that if I'm not doing the work myself. So being an usher and being somebody who is there to help people get to the mat, answer the questions and have the tough conversations and challenge intentions. That's why I keep going back. And there's my life purposes, right? And all that was revealed to me through this process.